Okay, we've had the new parts come through the fabrication process. We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
Ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who'll be fronting the grid. Tiger, Hamilton and Max Verstappen. Welcome along then to what promises to be another fascinating Spanish Grand Prix. It's a race which saw Max Verstappen take victory on his first ever appearance with the Red Bull team in 2016, after that dramatic coming together of Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. Will we see more moments for the scrapbook here today? The Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya then, a high-speed 2.89-mile circuit which demands an efficient downforce package and bravery on the part of the driver, especially through the blind right of turn 9, which we might just see taken flat out this weekend. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Tiger lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Sergio Perez and Norris, Sainz, Ricciardo, Russell and Fernando Alonso. Natalie Pinkham joins me once again in the commentary box. It's fantastic to have you with us today. I'm curious though, how do you think the drivers stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It'll keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
After the points finished last race, let's aim to keep that momentum going. DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
ones go. Don't want the kisses unless they're bitter. I'm hooked on touches that leave me weaker. I swear that I love nothing more than broke. I always let the good ones go. And maybe you couldn't have loved me any better, but doing this is all good. No, never. I want the better ones, 'cause I always let the good ones go.
I know we were expecting some new developments to come through, but some of them have failed quality control. We'll need to tell the team what to redevelop via the R&D screen.
I'm trying, 'cause you're everything else but no like fighting. So when I walk away.
lap. We're very pleased with that.
And a warm welcome to you from Azadlik Square, heart of Baku and home, of course, to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Tiger lines up on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Sainz, Daniel Ricciardo and Perez, Norris, Russell, Magnussen and Lewis Hamilton. It's race day yet again, and joining me for a chat is Anthony Davidson. And our racers are certainly in for a rough day today. What will you be watching out for as they head into turn one?
Well, the start of the race is always one of the most nerve-wracking parts. You have to hope that everyone is able to get off to a clean start, and this is possibly the trickiest part of the entire race. So many drivers in such a small space, and finding your braking point into turn one as well. It's a testament to the driver's skill that there aren't more incidents.
Worked hard for that one. Congratulations, well done.
And so ends another Azerbaijan Grand Prix. A fascinating race and a well-deserved victory. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think? So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take the top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
A reporter is asking who you see as your rival. We need your input. Not an easy decision, but you handled it well. Thanks. We had a major issue on the production line earlier this week, so the entire development package for this weekend has failed. Any redevelopments will need to be ordered from the R&D screen.
Hello and welcome to the Ile Notre Dame once again for what promises to be another incredible Canadian Grand Prix at this fiercely competitive circuit, where pole position can often be decided by less than a tenth of a second. We'll be seeing top speeds of around 210 miles per hour here at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve, with around 2/3 of the lap taken at full throttle. High-speed chicanes spell potential danger, especially at the infamous Wall of Champions, and watch out for overtaking into the hairpin. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Tiger completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Leclerc, Sainz, Max Verstappen and Perez, Ricciardo, Russell, Norris and Fernando Alonso.
Okay, now that we've got some good points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
For another magnificent Canadian Grand Prix, and they've hung on to take a sublime victory here today. So Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. Tiger increases their championship lead. So then, Natalie Pinkham, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Tiger. They did a great job at getting the very most out of the tyres without losing pace. Something that's a very handy skill to have in modern Formula One.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Well, what...
Our new parts have completed without issue. They'll be on the car, ready for the next race weekend.
Welcome along then to Great Britain and the Great Silverstone Circuit for today's Grand Prix. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Norris, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Sainz, Tiger, Mick Schumacher, Oscar Piastri, and Daniel Ricciardo.
This is the team's home race. We're all relying on you to impress today. of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Lap of the race. The gap between you and the car behind is increasing by a significant amount each lap. Good job. Nice move, keep going. Lap of the race so far. Our gap to the car in front is 2.8 seconds.
Well, they've done a brilliant job, I must say, under some intense pressure to take a well-earned victory here at the British Grand Prix. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today? The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everybody at the team. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Well, not the result our points leader would have wanted, but it certainly makes things interesting going forward. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
I have to give it to the Tiger. They pushed and found some fantastic performance. It was just a pleasure to watch.
Let's move on to the constructors. The lead.
How do you want us to deal with this one? Thanks. I know these kinds of decisions can be challenging, but I think you made the right call.